Hours in West Station. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Our truly fantastic Friday as we get into the mood and the groove with Swanky. And 1 o'clock, Mr. Cletus will join us as we talk about Plan Cayman, but I'm honored to be able to welcome some of the band members to the studio. So please stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And the opportunity to be able to sit across the table and see people that you played marbles with, when you were a child, people for whom sometimes, you were in their parents' house by the kitchen table eating and drinking and having a good time. And by that I mean cassava cake and Swanky. Thank each of you for coming on. Thank each of you for not just your professional careers, but making what you do as a craft more than just a hobby. And for keeping, as Joel Wilson says in Radio Cayman Pro, keeping the culture alive. With great respect to the wonderful, princess amongst us. An amazing lady in her own right. I can see why her brothers are so proud. Mr. Johnson, to you, sir. Welcome. Let the oldest be those who lead so that the future can be bright. How are you, sir?
Doing very well, Dwayne, Sterling. I'm just glad to be here at Radio Cayman, the place that has shaped all of us in this room with the music, the archive you guys have. So it's so nice to be in these studios. I think the last time I was here was at a little show called The Children's Roundabout as a kid. And I read a little story about turtles and crabs. But so nice to be back for this occasion.
Thank you for reminding us of that and for reminiscing. But I think Radio Cayman is so phenomenal and such a part of our lives that even 88 is still here. You feel his presence. Literally, some of us actually see and feel him, but that's a different story. If you don't know, call Laura, she'll tell you. But for those who are interested, and I'm again publicly appreciative, but also respectful that our conversation could be 4 or 5 weeks in the making and still would be insufficient. So we're not going to be disrespectful nor dismissive in the, sort of abbreviated time. But for those who are not sure, Swanky Kitchen Band, SKD as Miss Moore, what is it? And why is it? And how did it come about? And what does it mean? They all pivot to me.
Well, just to get us started, and then the others can chime in. But 2003 is when it all started, and the way I'd explain Swanky Kitchen Band is family, and it's a growing family.
Yeah,
it started off with just the three of us: Samuel Rose, Daniel Augustine, and myself. Dave Martins gave us the opportunity to take a gig at the Tourism Ambassador Awards. Told Samuel, get these guys together and you take my gig, and that's where it all started. And we just grown from there.
There were the three of you, right? And for those who know, the instruments that amongst the many that you might play, the ones that you play primarily as part of Swanky. Tell us.
Yeah, so I'm on the guitar. Samuel's on the fiddle. Of course, we got percussions, and let's go around the table and talk about the instruments that everyone plays.
Okay.
So we got the great singer to my right here, Miss Karen Eady, KK.
Good afternoon.
So Devon on the saxophone, Devon Eady.
Afternoon, everybody. I also play harmonica.
That's right.
Harmonica and saxophone, not both at the same time.
He's working on that.
You see what I'm thinking, right? A man who can play instruments like that would be a man who would be a good politician. Yeah. Just put that out there.
Really now? Really?
And then on drums, we also have Jared Tibbetts here with us. And then on the keyboards, vocals, Benil Miller.
Sometimes on bass as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Benil plays a phenomenal one instruments. I mean, last time we interviewed with him, I was amazed to realize how many instruments he play. I mean, I play the radio. That's about it. And sometimes not even good.
And sometimes that be off key.
No, most times I gotta tune it in.
And of course, just to recognize those that aren't here, Miss Paula Scott,
yes,
the brown sugar of the band on the grater, Samuel Rose, as I said, on the fiddle, and of course the Seymour boys, Lamy Seymour and his son Chris,
and
rounding it out.
Jeffrey Wilson
on vocals.
All those names, I think, are household names in this country, and if I seem a little bit giddy and starstruck, it doesn't happen often, right? Probably the only two people that would cause that would be Emerald Lagasse, and if I could see and meet, this famous, wonderful chef whose name shall not be called, but she's on my list. Okay. If ever looking for a pass, that'll be where I'll go. For the food. For the food.
Yeah.
But food and music go hand in hand, right? And the way you, as a group and individually, perform, I mean, KK Elise, right?
Yes.
The phenomenal voice.
Thank you.
I love Aretha Franklin. I think just incredible. You have that same sort of power and passion.
Thank you. Well, Aretha has been one of my inspirations, and I've always gravitated towards soul music. So, with Swanky Kitchen Band, I still get to tap into that, even though our genre is different.
Right.
But in the word kitchen in our name by itself already, signifies that connection to food. And food is good for the soul.
It is.
So it's like full circle.
It nourishes, replenishes. It also causes fellowship. And as I speak to Jared next, first, to you, Devon, I've been honored to be invited out to listen to live music. And I respect one person can do that. The person has the courage to do that. Because people think it's easy, and the people like yourselves make it look easy, right? But Devon, I watch you take, and just hold that brass in your hand. And I watch your eyes, and sometimes, once or twice, I kind of made them laugh, and you can hear the sound changes, right? But it's the joy that you have in doing what you're doing, and the joy that you bring. It's amazing, man. Thank you.
Yeah, because I think I can speak for most musicians, because the job of a musician is to connect to the listener. And you have to want to become good at your instrument before you're able to do that. And once you get to a certain level, and this comes, through different avenues, whether it's, official education or just playing until you get it right. Once you get that down, and you can start to, effervesce your feelings to your instrument so that it touch people, right?
Yes.
So, it's to me, it's a duty of a musician to be able to do that. And I know that when I'm playing, I completely enjoy what I'm doing, because if you notice, most of the time I'm playing, my eyes are closed. All right? So when your eyes are closed, you are in the moment. You're not getting distracted by anything going on around you, and you just play.
So that's what Stevie Wonder was doing. I didn't realize that.
That's why he's so good. He's never opened his eyes.
Okay, so hang on now. You're saying if you're enjoying what you're doing, your eyes gotta be closed. So if I'm hearing the radio talking, I think I'm asleep.
You might want to try it and see what happens.
Oh, I know what'll happen. But with that, Jared, I think he sets it up perfectly, because my perception of percussion of a drummer, you may have your eyes closed, and the way your hands move around the frets and the like, you got to be conscious, but it's almost muscle memory. And is it the same as what Devon says, or is it different? You got to be open, awake, and live, and jumping and pumping.
I feel like most times the best way to approach anything to do with music is feel, obviously. So if you're not feeling it and you're not into it, where is it going? That's how I approach things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But you always say, feel the music, and
Feeling is the most important thing. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, whenever you touch your instrument, you try and convey a feeling. It's if you don't accomplish that, the audience won't feel it.
You know, only a musician could say that a touch instrument is okay. Nobody else. But that's what it is, right? Because you're performing. You want to feel that thing. And I think this is where, not just with live music, but listening to your, the CDs and like what you were sharing through your music is reminding us of. You use the word kitchen, but that's what kitchen music, the kitchen band, the dance, that was about, right, Ms. Kay? It's bringing us back to that thing. Nicholas talked about, he's on the fiddle, or is it the violin, right? Is it the same? Is it different? Why is it called this? And then from Mr. Radley, to Mr. Duxie, you can't think of that instrument and not think of them.
Absolutely.
But yet, like so much, we're letting it be relegated to history, and so why your presence here is so informative, instructive, but also inspiring. So when we come back from the break, can I ask you about some of the things you're coming up to? Apparently there's a trip in the making.
Yeah, we're going on tour.
Going on tour?
Yes.
I might even be there, I don't know.
Hey, awesome.
Want to tell you where we're going, who's going, who's not? Join us after the break.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
It's game time, Subway fans. We're upping our sub game with the Subway Series menu, an all-star lineup of 6 delicious recipes. Just order by name or number and we'll do the rest. Whether you're catching a quick lunch or just need a tasty victory, the Subway Series menu is coming in clutch. Subway Series, easy to order, hard to resist. Try it today, only at Subway. Eat fresh.
The mission of the National Conservation Council and the Department of Environment has worked to protect and conserve the unique plants, animals, and habitats that make the Cayman Islands so special. Learn more at conservation.ky.
Thinking about what to do on this hot summer day for little or no cost to you? Head over to the new Shoreline iMap to find the closest public shoreline access point. Then grab your sunscreen and head to the shore. Use the new Shoreline iMap today at gov.ky/shoreline.
Radio Cayman News. Not guilty verdicts in the rape and indecent assault trial of the Honourable Makifah Bush.
Mr. Bush says his fight is not yet over.
Because I intend to bring a motion asking for a commission of inquiry against the DPP.
There is a real failing on the part of the DPP.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And in the studio, most of the 100-piece ensemble called the Swanky Kitchen Band is in the studio. I'm making this thing grow every day. First there were 3, and now there are 33.
Remember, Dwayne, we're not counting the utensils in the kitchen,
I was.
The players.
Just the players. The players with their instruments. But as we're chatting and as we get things grooving, maybe we'll ask what's Karen, but there's all seriousness. You guys are going on tour, yes. And there's a particular West Bay lady, won't call her names, but she's been championing and promoting from way back when. I thought, she's your publicist. Mm-hmm. All excited. Susan.
I know exactly who that is.
You know who that is, right? Good people, but good.
Yes.
All right. Well, when is this tour?
Okay, well, we're going on what we're dubbing our East Coast tour, which begins July 26th in Rhode Island. Oh!
Hi, fellas.
Hi, Miss B.
You can't have Swanky without some brown sugar.
So that for sure.
You come on in again. How are you? They mention you, and if you talk about the angel, she appears.
Well, I guess I'm an angel in disguise.
I tell you why.
Good to see you too.
Very good to be here, man, and to be in your presence. And as I was telling everybody else, I honestly feel starstruck. I mean, I like the representation that shows the talent, the determination, right? We were speaking to Sheena Angela the other day, and any musician who hones the craft, who has the discipline, but also who has to do the day job to make this thing. But you guys make it work. So someone asked me earlier, and I didn't give them a proper answer. I can't read that because your stage name, what I like, is brown sugar. I like it sweet, and some like it hot, and I like it hot and sweet. But why is and how did that come about?
Oh boy. It came from the band members. Yeah, it just popped because you can't make swanky without brown sugar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they consider the grater is the brown sugar. That's the one of the main ingredients, huh?
No.
Yeah,
it wasn't the grater. It was you.
You're
the sweetness of the band.
Well, all right. It comes the grater in front of me, but I'm behind.
You're behind it.
Yeah, I'm behind the grater.
And isn't that interesting for many of us who don't know that traditional kitchen band, the instruments, for want of a better word to use, what they did from the grater that you would have, from your cassava tea coconut, then it becomes this instrument in the evening, right? Traditional instruments, drums, guitar, piano, sax, we recognize them. But Nicholas, you're a trained musician as well as everybody else, right? And that traditional training, what other instrument is in the Swanky band that is, I call it traditional instrument, maybe it's a non-traditional instrument, but traditional for us, so that people understand.
Right. So, and that plays into how this music was formed in the first place. The early settlers that came from the British Isles, like, England, Scotland, so on, they brought the fiddles, the guitars, mandolins, maybe we've heard of even banjo being played. But then they sort of got together with people that played the rhythm is definitely an African type beat, Caribbean type beat. So it was a mixture of all those instruments. As Devon can also explain about the kitchen side of it in terms of how we got the instruments like the graters and so on.
Yeah, because we all know what caboose is. Back in the day, caboose was the outside kitchen separate from the house. And, we as a traditional K-Man group love to cook and love the food. So what happens is, cooking, festivity, and, all of a sudden the dance breaks out and somebody grab the pot and then somebody grab the grater and all of a sudden you have rhythm and then, that was part of the tradition of K-Man in terms of being festive around the house and stuff like that. So I think that's where kitchen dance originated. It originated from being close to the kitchen and the caboose and having all that festivity around that.
And definitely nothing couldn't go on unless you had that kitchen band music. I mean, that's when you hear that drum sing out. Well, as me growing up in Watering Place, when you hear that drum lick, well, it's time to go to the sand yard, the kitchen, the back yard, you want to call it caboose, wherever the dance is taking place.
Yeah, speaking of Watering Place, we had the opportunity to go to Cayman Brack about maybe 5 weeks ago for the Emancipation Day celebration. And I always heard of, where Miss Paul is from, Watering Place, Cayman Brack and stuff like that, but I never really understood it until we went down there and we saw how the Brackers do this kitchen band thing. And the rhythm, it licked different, man. It licked different. So I really understand now how that came about and the uniqueness of each island. Even though we're one Cayman Islands, each island does it a little bit different. And
even across districts.
Yeah, and even across, Yep.
As we take this call, right, I just talked about, the pots and the pans. How many of us see either pictures of us when we were younger or our own children going into the lockers, because we don't call them cupboards or cabinets, pull out the pot and the pan and start making noise.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And if you listen to it, there's some rhythm to that.
Of course.
Right? Most of us have headsets. I share mine with Ms. Paula. We are told have a caller. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good evening, Mr. Sterling, and good evening, the Kitchen Band. How are you all guys doing?
And to you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm talking about music today in the Kitchen Band, Yeah, well, I guess I'm younger than all of them that is there. So
I thought you would say you older than all them combined.
George, you say you're younger?
Yeah, young and all them. I'm young and all them.
When I came to Cayman in 1970, you and after I get to know you, you was a big man. Very big man.
Don't make nobody head.
I gotta set the record straight. You say you were younger than all of us.
Take that.
Yeah, I said young and all of them. I'm not old people and I got too much on the mind. I not got nothing on my mind. I can't hold nothing.
We got a lot on our mind.
But
yeah,
Paula,
for sure.
especially you, it's you talking to you. Where like you say, where you come from in the Brock, and where your old man, he was a musician too. And when you talk about the kitchen band now,
he wasn't really a musician, He wasn't really a musician. I got to correct you on that. George Samuel Scott, also known as Master, was a dancer like no other. But trust me, it resonates in all the Scott blood and the Brown blood.
Yeah, man. Anyhow,
yes, sir, Mr.
what
George.
I'm saying is that, in my time growing up there, they used to use two different type of pot. They used to use the cast iron pot, and they used to lick that on the back. But in the cast iron pot, and the aluminum pot now that you get nowadays is much different. They had the Moroccans, and you used to make them out of coconut. And then you would put rocks down in them. Years ago on by, you just bore a little hole in the coconut after it dry out, and you clean it out. And then they would use the fiddle or the banjo, and they used to use the goat skin drum. And then they had the goat skin drum. They used to beat that, Yeah. And then you couldn't be a kitchen band unless you had your little thing on the side to drink. You know what that was? They had to have that. And they would sit down round. It was a round thing.
Yeah. Other thing on the side?
Real like gold.
Mr. George, thanks, sir.
If it was five musicians, it had to be five of them. Then they would sit down like in a round in the kitchen, because, like I said, the kitchen used to be separated from the house in those days. But the musicians, they used to sit around in a circle like the kitchen band, and whoever gonna dance, they had to get in the middle of that, and that is where the old time kitchen band used to be. You had to be sitting down like around. All the musicians were around, and the dancers had to get inside of the ring then to dance.
All right. But Mr. George, thanks and respectfully to you, but I know our guests. They're not catching the flight today, but they got to start packing. Nicholas got to do it here. So thank you very much, Mr. George. And another call, Ms. Susan? We see you get popular people in the studio. We get phone calls. Hey, welcome. Thank you for calling.
Morning.
How are you?
Good, man. Thank God I've been there.
Hey, the man. It's only you can beat that unique drum, You know that merengue? I tell you, I want you to beat that. I want you to show them what the one Elvis McKeever can do.
Look at. I want to congratulate not to me. Honor's one of the best bands in the Caribbean by far.
Hey.
Wait.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I'm a musician, and that's coming from the heart. And another thing I want to remind them that some of the best musicians in the Cayman Islands come out of water, please.
Yes, I would agree.
Barmon, Zingard, Elroy, Mr. Eder,
Raymond
Blanket,
Scott,
you put
yeah.
a blanket. All of us working places. One thing we could do, drink rum, make night, play music.
I want you to, you know what? I want you to do some of the lyrics for that song about Polo Robert left his underpants down and then came on. Okay? We need the lyrics. Because you know how that underwear went around the place. This one stole it, this one hide it, and this one, whatever, we're doing all kind of exchange with Polo Robert underwear. Huh?
Boy, from down there came on.
Yeah, from down there came on, yeah. They say but Trinwick has stole it now. Huh? Started with Polo Trinwick, God bless his soul.
Murray stole it, Trinwick stole it.
Polo Robert.
Yeah, I congratulate you guys. Like I say, you guys to me is the best in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. Thank you very much, Elvis.
When you guys go to what Granny talk about America, and they're gonna make the Cayman Islands very proud.
Yes, I think we're capable of doing that.
That's our goal.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Elvis.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And take care, sir. And this is where, listen to him, right? I mean, I was bold enough to say I was starstruck. But here's somebody who's a little bit older than me. He's even more so. You can see Mr. Elvis jumping on and going, but here we go. All right. Do we have to take the break, Ms. Susan? Just in case anybody don't realize, I'm not in charge, okay? She's not wearing red just for that reason. When we come back, I'm mindful of the time until 1. But share with us as you want. Talk about the tour. Would that be fine? All right. To our listeners, we're honored to have these, not just ambassadors, these cultural icons, but the guardians, of the culture in the studio. So stay tuned.
Summer's heating up, and so are the good times. Whether you are out on the water, enjoying the beach, or gathering with colleagues for an office bash, make it a feast to remember with Subway. From assorted sandwich platters to mouth-watering cookies, our catering menu has something for everyone. Perfect for groups of 5 or more. For food that's fresh, fast, and perfect for any occasion, choose Subway Catering. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet. Because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Refer a friend and get $50 to spend when your friend or family member opens a personal account with Cayman National. From July 9th to September 30th, 2024, C&B customers can earn $50 for each referral who opens an individual or joint personal account. Earn up to $500 with a maximum of 10 referrals. Visit CaymanNational.com for more details on this promotion and follow us on social media for updates. Terms and conditions apply.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
a caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And to Mr. Elvis McKeever publicly, Ms. Polish shared, the brown sugar. I give the musician in his own right to call and to publicly not just commend you and share greatest band, I think he said, of all time in all history, right? I think that's what I heard. But that level of respect and appreciation that we have for what is Swanky Kitchen Band, the notion that you're not just keeping the tradition alive, you're inspiring many of us to not be discouraged by something that is a passion, but to see how essential it is for society through the arts. Nicholas, you, like many, you have gifted training, you've had formal, traditional training. And then I think, Benil, you shared in addition to that, you teach yourself certain things as well.
Right.
So when we have that mixing and melding, a voice like Jeffrey isn't here, but a great individual in his own person, a phenomenal voice, but it's either yours. Yeah. It's angelic. No, it's just man. I mean, when Jambo and Joel told me that, I said, nah, they're exaggerating. No, they were on the selling. Yeah. That's an instrument.
Thank you. And, listening to what you were saying about how we are loved here in Cayman, we definitely feel that. And we see this upcoming tour as an awesome opportunity for us to not just represent us as a band, but to represent Cayman. Cayman is going through a lot of changes, and sometimes there's the thought that maybe our heritage and our culture is eroding, and maybe there is some truth to that. But we feel it as an awesome responsibility to do our part as Swanky Kitchen Band to retain what we have of our unique identity, and to expand on it and to share it. So that's one of the reasons we're so excited about going on this tour and solidifying ourselves as ambassadors for Cayman, and making Caymanians feel proud of who they are and where they come from and what we have to offer.
Jared, did you want to jump in?
I just wanted to add to that, because you look around the world and everybody else has their own sound, and us as Caymanians and Cayman itself has a sound. So we are going out there to show the world this sound.
Unique sound.
It is a unique sound.
And it's interesting what you were saying earlier, Dwayne, about how we started off as musicians individually, because when we were children, the thought process was never I want to be doing kitchen band music. You just end up having to get lessons. Your parents might think it's a good thing to have your kids do music and stuff like that, and you grow up through life doing music. You're doing the school bands and all of that stuff, and then we end up falling into this particular part of people and help to boost this traditional music. And what I think would be interesting, if it comes to fruition, is that if we end up being successful at this, then some of the youth that's coming up now can look to us and say, look, I want to be playing that music, so they can start out from youth doing the kitchen band stuff, you know, and from anything that starts from youth, just going to get stronger as it goes through, as you go through the years and maturity and so on, you know.
As I asked Benil something, I'm inclined to share both, you know, from what Ms. Karen and Devon, what you shared. Your success and celebration in Cayman, I think, speaks to a number of things. First, our yearning for the Cayman of yesteryear, the Caymanianness to be showcased, but also the ability to really identify something that we can point to.
Absolutely.
And celebrate, and to do so with such national pride. So your international travels not just serve as ambassadors, but it does what Devon shared. It encourages us as parents, to say to our children, hey, you can pursue this thing and achieve success in more ways than just how we measure it by how much money you make. As I look around the table, in your own rights, we have people who, if you allow me to say, who are professionals in your day job. You have to do that in order to do your thing. But also so people that, you know, trying to make the best out of something.
Right.
Sheen and Sean the other day, you know, through their continued presence with High Tide, has been consistent, and that's what it takes. But it's consistency on you, the artist, but also us on the society and supporting, right? So, Benil, not that Mr. Johnson is elderly, but he's a few years your senior. I mean, he might look it, but he is. I saw his birth papers. That couple of years difference can make an important and significant approach to how you may see the arts and the desire to pursue a career in architecture, for instance, accounting, engineering, or you say, you know what, I want to give this a go. You know, a decade can be a significant shift. For you, making that decision to decide to pursue music full time or to do as many, you know what, I'm going to work in the day so I can be able to have a gig at night. How do you rationalize that? How do you approach that?
I mean, it goes back to, you know, the importance of something like this where, you know, we do music on a professional level because, like, I think I mentioned it at the KK, but one of the biggest things that got me started up was seeing her at the 2008 Jazz Fest. You know, I had won a ticket to go, and, you know, it was cool to just see somebody. I still remember the band being in black, and, you know, it was a big deal. So it's important to see Caymanians doing music at a high level, and, you know, I'm happy that I can be a part of this unit and help with that, you know.
Hey, thank you for referencing that, because that particular year, I mean, was it what? We did 2 years or something, right?
Yeah, 2008 and 2010.
Yeah, we did it twice.
Yeah.
And I remember the international artists.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the reasons why I look at it with such admiration, there were people who, whether they were conscious or not in doing it, they were disparaging. Oh, you know, that's a Caymanian, not about you, but, you know, football player or athlete, as if, well, you're from this little place, you know, you can only be so good, no better. And that evening that you perform, the headliners who were there, without question, are phenomenal.
Right.
But you held your own, exceeded. And I watch people who like, they call you by your mama name and your daddy name. And that was the respect, but it was enough of us being celebrated and given the opportunity.
Absolutely.
16 years later, well.
Yeah, and I mean, like someone said earlier, it's about, you know, that consistency and that commitment. And I think those are characteristics that are present in all of us here in Swanky Kitchen Band. And I think, well, I know that is part of the reason why we are headed off on this tour, our East Coast tour. And I give special credit to Devon, Miss Paula, and Samuel for this happening, because the gentleman that is a part of the organization, and help me, what's Dr. John Loman's organization again?
Center for Cultural Vibrancy.
Center for Culture, right. He, his organization is producing our tour in partnership with the other sponsors. But last year is when we met him, And it was at the Old Fiddlers Convention in Galax, Virginia, and we got there very late at night, and we were not going to go down to the festival grounds because we were so exhausted. But Devon, Miss Paula, and Samuel made the effort to go. And that's when they met him, because he was actually planning to leave the festival the following day. But because he heard, and it was just the 3 band members at the time, he heard what they were playing and what they were doing. And he's like, oh my gosh, this music is so special. And he extended his stay at the festival and took us around to different areas, including the Blue Ridge Music Center, where we got to do an impromptu performance. And the rest really has been history in the making. He's been to Cayman 3 times since last year. And, you know, he's met with important people here in terms of cultural traditions.
Susan,
and trying to grow that. Yeah. So, you know, people talk about our personalities as Caymanians. And I think based on what Devon and Samuel and Miss Paula did has brought us to the point that we are now. And we're so grateful for that.
And this is very much like the seafarers of yesteryear, who left here with an ability, and not just the skill set that they demonstrated, but the personality, the character, the integrity. And they demonstrated, you know what, they can hold their own, they can exceed above whatever else.
Absolutely.
You know, you hear from, at least in my view, you know, the Norwegian, who probably is, you know, as much as part of the sea as anything. Speak of a Caymanian seafarer with such respect and recognizing the ability. Right? Not saying that there are not other seafarers who are great, but if they hold a Caymanian seafarer in high regard, what you're doing with your music and the promotion, it just tells that we're allowing people to disparage, disrespect, disregard, and we can't anymore. I'm told that our next guest is willing to yield some time for some of your other members. I just want to make sure we're good for a couple of minutes more to have a chat.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
All right. And thanks our next guest for just doing that. When we come back, you know, you're going to have a special treat. In addition to the music that's going to be played, I'm going to sing.
All right. Oh, Lord.
You want to find out how that sounds? Join us after the break.
I could leave now.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. As of 12:30 p.m., the Computer Services Department in the Government Administration Building has made significant progress in resolving the global CrowdStrike antivirus issue affecting the systems. All production systems are operational and work has been completed in all ministries. 10 departments are currently in progress. To date, 60% of all PCs have been addressed and 100% of servers have been completed. Regarding remote sites, work at 911, the Passport Office, the House of Parliament, Customs and Border Control have been completed, while Workforce Opportunities and Residency Cayman and the Director of Public Prosecutions are all currently in progress. Other remote sites will be addressed after the current sites are completed. The UN's top court has said Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories is against international law in a landmark opinion. The International Court of Justice said Israel should stop settlement activity in the occupied West Bank and East Jerusalem and end its illegal occupation of those areas and the Gaza Strip as soon as possible. In response, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the court had made a decision of lies. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. In international news, U.S. President Joe Biden is looking forward to getting back on the campaign trail next week, fortifying his commitment to stick in the race as more Democrats on Friday called for him to step aside as the party nominee. The stakes are high and the choice is clear. Together we will win, he said. His statement comes amid conflicting reports of conversations within Mr. Biden's circle and the larger party about the president's future.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Residents of Bodentown, we want to hear from you. As HSA plans to expand our services and facilities in the Eastern Districts, we want to give you a chance to tell us what services you'd like offered in Bodentown so that we can best serve our community. We invite you to complete our brief online survey by visiting